Jada Emperor checking in once again. Y'all already know what time it is. Another free game topic. This is going to be targeted for the chosen ones. If you know, you just know. You are your ancestors. So when I'm talking about ancestors, I'm talking about passed on loved ones. And you can connect with them by calling on them, praying to them. You can keep a picture of them. You can put a picture of them on an altar. You can even visit their grave. You can pray. You can just call on their name, or you can think, what would so and so do, whatever their name is. But whenever you're going through hard times, you can connect with your ancestors in ways that whatever you felt like you couldn't do, you can call on them for strength, for help, for guidance. You can channel them. They can kind of use your body as a vessel to enter at your own permission, at your own will, of course. But your ancestors are there to help. They're kind of like angels. They're not gods, but they are spirits. So whenever ancestors transform from this lifetime, they no longer are aware of time and space. Basically, they just exist in a soul form, but they can also enter your vessel at any given time if you were to call on them, if you were to embody their energy. Sometimes, whenever they pass from their current vessel, their spirit or some of their traits will start to show up in you. You'll start to inherit the spirit of them, not their soul, the spirit of them. But it's no longer in a vessel form, so now they show up in a spirit form. You could hear synchronicity signs. You could even hear like cracks or squeaks in the walls and the floorboards of where they used to live. Just small things like that. But some people look at this as dark because you are connecting with the dead. But for those of you who are more spiritually evolved, again, the chosen ones, you don't look at death as the way you used to. When these ancestors transformed, you may have cried, you may have went through trauma, you may have thought, damn, that was the last time I'm gonna ever see him again. But after a certain point, or even at that point, you understood what was really going on. You no longer looked at death the same. You realized, damn, this was necessary for our evolvement. They had already completed their mission here on earth. They actually wanted to transition for the ones who ended a peaceful way. But you can tell that it's necessary. Sometimes when the ancestors pass in the family, you'll notice that a certain family member will have a child either around the time that the ancestor passed, before, or right after. That's just signifying the cycles of life. Nothing is meant to last forever, meaning no thing from this earth will transition, but your soul will, your spirit will. That connection to God, the love, the time you spent with your loved ones, the memories you share with your loved ones, those will be remembered because love transcends time and space. So does the connection with the ancestors or your passed on loved ones. You are your ancestors. So think of it like this: whenever they transition, you embody some of their characteristics, some of their skills, some of their traits, some of their powers. Or another child in the family is being born. It could be a descendant or an ascendant from the ancestors. So it's like, let's just say if the ancestor is a grandparent, then the grandparents have kids, and then those kids have kids, and then that kid has a kid. Confirmation. You see what I'm saying? It could go down in 3 generations or more, but that's usually how it works. Not to mention, you carry a certain type of DNA within your bloodline. So what does that mean? Whatever name or whatever title you represent, everyone is trying to compete in the race of life, trying to compete and get their last name or get their family lineage to the next level, to the next generation, trying to get it closer so you can track back on your ancestors and see where your name came from, but you can also project into the future to see where you're projected to head based off past, present, and future. So it's important to be able to connect to your ancestors in order to carry on the legacy, in order to be fruitful, in order to get your last name or your family race closer to the top or closer to where you necessarily want to be. They talk about generational wealth. How are you going to build generational wealth for the next generation if you're not doing it for your current time? You got to focus on you first. And the way that you do that is you realize your place. You realize that I have a purpose. And a lot of times it's picking up where the ancestors left off at. That's where I'm leading to. You could be connected to your ancestors having some of the same name, last name, middle names, but it's to pick up where they left off and continue the legacy. I may come back with a part 2 in this video. That's all I got for y'all on this one. Jada Emperor checking out. Peace.